two people who are in this connection that are approaching this connection in polar opposite ways. Hello, Aries cross-watcher. Welcome to your cross-watchers only reading for September 15th until October 15th. I'm Princess India if you're new. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And a very special welcome to my new subscribers. There's something on my eyelash. Please don't judge me. This is real life right now, people. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and take a jump right in. If you're not familiar with this reading, I do this reading from, the perspective of the person that would be cross-watching for an Aries. In the event that you are an Aries, there's a possibility that you could resonate. I'm not sure. You'd have to let me know in the comments. But these are done for people who are, trying to get a little bit of information on an Aries person. So, first card that we have out, we have the Star card, and then we have the Three of Pentacles. That's very fascinating. So, what it's looking like, cross-watcher, you gazing into your Aries person's life, there's more or less a natural chemistry that the two of you possess. I would even go as far as to say, that you feel more or less like, I would say a traditional meaning that your wishes are proverbially fulfilled, in this person. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of sexual chemistry between the two of you. It's something that's really natural. When we get into a sense of what it is that more or less you're fearing in reference to this person, it's more or less if they are on the same page as you. And then getting into this Four of Swords, that kind of leads me into a space of, at present with you all, and this could even be a transition too, meaning that I'm going to say it like this. With this Aries person, it's a lot of, dreamy kind of energy with them, like upon meeting them, and the chemistry was on point. I'm feeling more or less that with this Three of Pentacles, it almost feels like you were riding the wave of that connection that the two of you have, and more or less the desires that you have for a future with this person. However, now it's kind of like coming back to ground zero with this Four of Swords, because it's almost like, how I heard it is like fighting tooth and nail. To try to get this person to open up, trying to get the Aries person to open up to you. So it's more or less them on the side of communication or expressing themselves or what they have going on or what they're not doing when they're not around you. They're not very open and vocal about that. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. Then we have the World's card. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So, yeah. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Not necessarily saying that this is going on per se, but I would say like past tense, despite the chemistry and stuff that you guys have. And I really want to say this, just because this energy is pronouncing itself more to me. I really want to go ahead and say, I don't know what this person's marital situation is or couple situation is, but this kind of feels to me almost as if like coming in on something. So I don't know if this person was separated or if they had just got out of a relationship or something along those lines. But I really do feel a sense of an energy of someone kind of just hovering somewhere on the sidelines, if you will. And I do feel that this is kind of something that's perpetuated. However, there's an opportunity for this cycle to be broken. And with this Seven of Pentacles being here, and that's always my good old karmic relationship card, meaning that there's a viable lesson for both parties involved to learn in this partnership. What I would say, cross-watcher, is the lesson is in the arena of meeting someone, like there being a pattern in relationships, not just this one, of meeting people. There's an instant connection, you're vibing, things are going along fine. but it's kind of like the hiccup comes in the fact of, it's almost like hitting, how do you say that? It's like a colloquialism, not a fall from grace. I don't know what colloquialism that is, but it's almost like snapping back to reality, I guess you would say. So it's like meeting someone, everything is like copacetic and you're connecting and all this other kind of stuff. But it's like somewhere early on in the partnership, you're riding that wave and suddenly it's like reality hits and you end up finding out stuff that you didn't know, or becoming suspicious of things that you didn't notice before. So it's kind of like questions that weren't asked. Like you vibe with a person so much, and not saying this is literally happening, but saying this more hypothetically. You vibe with a person so much that you never stop and ask, like, are you living with someone? You know what I mean? Are you in a relationship? You know what I mean? And when it comes time to kind of ask those questions, it's more or less, like the person being kind of tight-lipped or literally finding out that there is something else going on that the person didn't volunteer. You know what I mean? But more or less in the month of September, energetically, it's offering you an opportunity off this merry-go-round, if you will, because I feel that the timing for this lesson to be learned is up. And that's not here nor there with how it is that you deal to move forward with this person or not. It's just more or less saying that it's kind of like if you were stuck in a maze and a couple of times a year, you know, some person who works at the maze is like, hey, if you don't want to be stuck in this maze anymore, you know, you can take this exit door, and you have the choice to either, you know, take that exit door or to say, nah, I'm cool, give me 3 more months here type of deal. Like that's the vibe that I feel. I know that's probably like the most horrible example in America, but that's totally how I'm seeing it. But with the 7 of Pentacles, whenever I see this in this deck, it's always indicative to me of a soul tie. So it's more or less saying that you're free to go if you wish. However, I feel the valuable lesson for my cross watcher to learn here is in partnerships with people, when a person pulls back from you, whether that's emotionally, financially, physically, whatever the case may be, it's like when a person pulls back, I feel with the cross watcher, they give more, and it's giving more thinking that would kind of balance things out. But how it happens over time is the more the person pulls back is the more that you give. And I feel that there's a lesson to learn with this person as far as with partnerships prior to this of like over giving. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. Then we have the Temperance card, and we have the Justice in the reverse. At the bottom of your deck, we have the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. So here is the deal. There's an opportunity still I'm seeing with this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse with this person where it's more or less, okay, with this partnership in general, the way that things kind of started out here is there was a lot of stuff that you didn't know. There are some things that you did find out that really weren't, you know, they were less than stellar. It wasn't really, like I would say the stuff that you found out was shocking and hurtful. Let's put it that way. But I feel with this person, there was never really any consolation that was given for that, because it was just kind of like, all the stuff I'm seeing in my head, dude, it's like, I keep seeing something like, it's like skyrocketing and plummeting back to earth. So it's almost like with this information that you found out, this person offered no consolation for that. And I feel my cross-watcher person is more kind of harping on, you know, this vibe and how everything was copacetic and dope. You know what I mean? Feeling as if this person is like the end-all be-all for you and wanting things to kind of balance out so that you guys can move forward. However, I feel the thing that's been consistently perpetuated in this partnership is a lot of this person holding back, a lot of stuff they're not saying, a lot of stuff they're not giving. So it's a withholding period. You know what I mean? No matter what sense that that's in. And it's a consistent cycle of this no matter what is going on, but it's still this desire on my cross watchers end of clinging because it's always referring back to how things were in the beginning, if you will. You know what I mean? So it's almost how I would see this. It's almost like it's two people who are in this connection that are approaching this connection in polar opposite ways. You know what I mean? And I want to say there's a sense with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse where what makes you want to stay or makes you not want to give up is the connection that you have. Like you feel a soul connection with this person. You know what I mean? And that's why it's like you kind of stick around despite whatever it is that you found out. And, you know, this person like holding back from you. Because, of course, the desire is more or less to come out of this cold spot with this person and hoping that they warm up to you. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff in Aries cross-watcher person. It's fascinating. I'm trying to use my words wisely because the first words that are coming to my mind, I don't want anyone to take offense to them or anything. But it's kind of like, and I don't want to harp too much on that because I do get the sense people could potentially be telling you this too. It's kind of like if you looked at this situation for face value, right? It's like there's no evidence that's kind of helping up for this feeling that one is holding on to still, right? Like the person's behavior isn't really in support of that. However, the reason why I can see the cross-watcher person is believing how they're believing in this partnership is because of the feelings initially and the connection or bond that you feel with the person despite how it is that they're behaving. And it's more or less wanting to make sense of how it is that they've disappointed you or hurt you in the past. You know what I mean? And there's this hope, more or less, there's this hope that things will turn around. But I do feel a sense with this justice in the reverse of, it's like skirting responsibility, if you will. And I say this in the sense that there's elements here that are giving the cross-watcher person what it is that you need to know about this partnership, right? Like there's a ton of elements here. And I'm saying it in terms of what I'm seeing on my table. But I feel even deeper in your own experience with this particular person, you know? But it's a refusal to kind of see that. And I feel, again, the refusal to see that or not wanting to accept that has a lot to do with this connection that you feel you have with this person and a wholehearted believing that they're your end all be all. So it's ultimately looking at this as if you feel that this will transform in so many words. But with this Two of Pentacles and the reverse, being at the bottom of your deck, it's a sense of stagnancy here. And it's stagnancy here because there's a need for you to make a decision of either you're going to stay or you're going to go. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how it's wrapping up for me in the month of September. Is it's not wanting to, if we were to say it personified, it's not wanting to face proverbial justice, if you will. Because justice is all about judgment. It's about laying everything out. You know what I mean? Seeing things for what it is, what's helping the argument, what's hurting the argument, and rendering a final judgment on it. And I feel that a decision hasn't been made because one doesn't want to face this. Like one doesn't want to see it any other way other than how one presently believes it, despite evidence to the contrary. You know what I mean? It's kind of being in this cycle, but almost electing to not see the bad and only see the good in it. You know what I mean? But not really realizing that it's kind of the same thing that's reoccurring over and over again. And the why behind that would have a lot to do with the lesson that one needs to learn. Now, I say that that's completely removed from whether you choose to be with this person or not, because that's your choice. But it's like, you know, whether you're with this person or you're not, there's still a lesson that you need to learn for you, whether things turned around with this or not. And, you know, even in the event if you were to leave this person, if the lesson wasn't learned here, you would learn it with someone else type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's more or less needing to kind of face whatever it is that's being suppressed, in so many words. Because it almost feels like, oh man, it's almost like, you know, what do they call, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to naming it this, but this is like the closest thing in the ballpark to what it is that I'm seeing, is how people talk about toxic positivity. You know what I mean? And not saying that y'all are doing that, but it's more or less like thinking that being positive about this situation means to deny the negative about the situation. And it doesn't require one to do that. It's like, 'cause you know how sometimes like people tell you like to not think negative and to just have hope, you know, about a partnership or a situation. So it's like, even though the person hurt you, you're not going to think about that. You're just going to think about the good stuff. It's kind of like, not saying you're supposed to dwell on the bad stuff, but it's like that's something that needs to be addressed and talked about, if that's making sense. I hope that that makes sense, Aries cross-watcher. But I'm going to go over to Vimeo, my website, YouTube members, and Patreon to do you guys extended, where we're going to look at how this person thinks and feels about you. So if you're about that life, you can follow me over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face. And I'm going to do this dance party thing now. Cabbage Patch seems to be the only thing Princess can do sitting down until, you know, I give stuff away here, you know. And I haven't gotten tired of it yet. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And then I like to do this right here too. I hope this works for you, Aries. Please don't judge me. I'm going to do a little bit of the robot, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do with this arm. I'm just going to do this right here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. You know, follow me to the extended. Because I can't ever do that right. Dang, wait. Dagnabbit, wait. My arms are so whack. So, anywho, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to see you in the extended, which is, you know, sooner than later and whatnot or whatever. All the links are in the description box. Like, share, subscribe. I love your face.